5 continues. Today's game is brought to you by Miller Beer. Miller, made the American way since 1855. By Chevrolet, who invites you to see today's Chevy, drive today's Chevy, live today's Chevy. By McDonald's, it's a good time for the great taste. Retailer, New York Carpet World, the better carpet people.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Tiger Stadium. I'm George Kell, along with Al Kaline, and we're getting ready to go with game number 2 of this very important 3-game series between the Tigers and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays won it last night, 2-0. They sent their ace right-hander out, Dave Stieb, and he was absolutely tremendous, Al.
Well, the players were saying it's the best they've ever seen. Now, this is an outstanding pitcher, and when he's on his game and making all the great pitches, and he's almost impossible to beat. Dan Petrie made one bad pitch in the first inning. George Bell hit a long home run, and then he matched Dave Stieb right on to the very end. Tigers hopefully will score some runs. This ball game should be altogether different than last night's ball game. Both pitchers pitching tonight, Leal and Terrell, both have been giving up a lot of runs. So it should be a different type ball game. And there's Walter there. He's trying to redeem himself. He got racked pretty good against Toronto up in Toronto. In fact, it's the worst outing that he has had since becoming a Detroit Tiger. And Luis Leal, if he would have gotten off to as great a start as he did last year, no telling how far Toronto would be in front. He won his first 6 ball games before he lost a game. He won 13 last year, and he's having a terrible year. Only has won 3 games while losing 5, and he has given up an awful lot of runs.
Well, you see the 2 starting pitchers, Walt Terrell for the Tigers, 8 and 3 on the year, and Luis Leal, who's only won 3, but he's a much better pitcher than that, and as Al Kaline explained to you just now, getting off to an extremely slow start for a pitcher of his caliber. We had some rain at the stadium, and still getting just a few light sprinkles of rain at the moment, but it is not expected to delay the game too long. They have put the tarp on the field. They put the tarp on about 15 minutes ago, and at this moment, just as I say this, you can see they are beginning to remove the tarp from the field, so we can expect only about a 5, 6, 7-minute delay here at Tiger Stadium. Another big crowd on hand. We had 48,000 plus here last night. I don't think we will quite reach 48,000 unless, Al, there's a lot of people back in under the stands, but certainly 45 or more here tonight.
Well, it's a bigger crowd than I thought. Obviously, the rain was isolated in just certain areas of the county, and but I see all the seats filling up. There's still a few seats behind the poles as advertised. They were not sold, but 48,000. They were expecting at least 48,000 again tonight.
Well, a big series, you know. Tiger fans thought maybe this would be the weekend. The Tigers would go into first place. The Blue Jays came in here 2.5 games out in front. A 3-game sweep would have done that, but the Blue Jays are a better ball club than that, just as the Tigers were last year. You just you don't sweep them without a big battle on your hand, and especially when you're facing the type of pitching that they start off with, a Dave Stieb. So the Tigers need a win tonight. They need a win from Walt Terrell. Tomorrow they'll go with Jack Morris. And even though it's a big series, Sparky keeps telling his boys, well, it's not the end of the world. We've got a lot of ball games yet to play.
Well, you're going to have to play everybody, George, and certainly you want to beat the people who are ahead of you. That's the only way you're going to close the gap, quickly, because after they leave, and if they win and you win, you're not going to close the gap. So whenever you play somebody ahead of you, you want to try to beat them. And the Tigers, I think, have to win one ball game. I think if the Toronto Blue Jays should have to sweep this ball club, it's going to give them an awful lot of confidence. And I don't think they're going to do that. In fact, I think we have the winning lineup in here tonight, and I think the Tigers will score some runs off of Leal. And the one thing about the Detroit Tigers, they forgot about last night's game as soon as it was over. It was one of those things. It's in the history books. They tried as hard as they could. They just ran into a buzzsaw of a pitcher. And when he's on the game, probably as tough a pitcher as there is in the American League particularly. So they forgot about it, and they're ready to go tonight.
Well, the Tigers' record against the top 4 clubs in the American League East has just been fantastic. They have beaten them and won most of the series they've played here in the last 3 weeks. On the other hand, you look at the Baltimore club today. Baltimore won in Boston, Al. That's the first ball game they have won against the top 4 clubs in the American League East, and it's pretty tough to lead your division if you cannot beat those clubs.
That's hard to really explain, and certainly until I heard it, I didn't believe it. But you know, they're too good a ball club to not beat you sooner or later. You know, I don't think they're the ball club they were a few years ago. You know, when they were winning year in and year out, and they were the dominant team in the American League. But certainly they're a much better ball club than they have played recently. They got off to a great start under the new manager, Earl Weaver, and then all of a sudden they've been getting beat up on.
But to figure that they have been swept so far this year by Detroit, Toronto, Boston, and New York, it's almost hard to believe. We'll be right back at Tiger Stadium after these messages.
Oh, Raja, answer me but one question.
Make it quick.
What number will win the daily lottery tonight?
The daily game. 898.
You're so wise. I was going to play 078.
Oh, thank you very much.
Every day, there are thousands of winners in the Michigan Lottery Daily Games.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, you were wrong.
Yes, but you were right. Thank you very much.
In the Daily Games, play your hunch and win a bunch.
There's something real special about this new Tiger hat. It's going to help build and run this new Ronald McDonald House. It's an important place for kids with serious illnesses and their parents to be together, to give each other support. So give your support. Buy a new away hat at McDonald's for just $2.49, and McDonald's will donate 50 cents to Ronald McDonald House. Buy a hat and help a lot of little champions win their game.
In case you're wondering about my boutonniere, and we'll get a picture of that in just a moment. He's on the field right now. That's in commemoration of the International Freedom Festival, celebrating the 4th of July in Canada Day, and we're proud to be a part of that.
Oh, it's great. You know, we have certainly, the Detroit Tigers have a lot of fans from across the river there, and now the Canadians have great pride in their ball club, the Toronto Blue Jays, and this is going to be a matchup for years and years and years. This is going to be a great rivalry between these two ball clubs.
Boy, they've brought a lot of fans. We talk about it every time we go to Toronto, how many people leave the Detroit and the Michigan area and travel over to Toronto for the big series over there. But they have brought a ton of people, too. At the hotel where I'm staying out there, the ball club is staying, and it's just full of Toronto fans.
And rightfully so. This is a very, very good ball club, a young ball club with a few veterans like Ernie Witt and Doyle Alexander, but they are a very young ball club, and if they stay healthy, certainly they're going to be in contention for many years to come. Very similar to the Detroit Tigers. They're a young ball club, and if they stay away from key injuries and don't make some foolish trades, add a player here or there, they're going to be a very tough ball club for a long time.
I'd be very surprised if they made any foolish trades as we look at them in the dugout over there, because for the past 3 or 4 years, 5 years, since they've been in the league now, but especially the last 4 or 5 years, this ball club has been a model of what you want to do to develop a ball club. They've gone at it in the right way. They have finished down in the race until they got their ball players, and now all of a sudden they've arrived.
Well, you know, some teams, when expansion, they want to try to win in a hurry, so they go out and get rid of some of their young ball players for veteran ball players who are pretty much over the hill, and they just cannot do it anymore. And Toronto, I think, did it in the right way. They kept their young players. They developed them. They knew they were going to lose for 4 or 5 years, and now they're at a point where they can go out and get a veteran ball player and to fill in their spots.
Well, we have some good-looking weather up above right now. The skies have cleared. A lot of blue sky has moved in. The rain has stopped. And according to the weatherman, we shouldn't have any more rain. You see the umpires at home plate getting the starting lineups. That was Billy Consolo instead of Sparky Anderson coming out to present the Tiger lineup. This big crowd is on edge. This has been a weekend that Tiger and Blue Jay fans have looked forward to all summer long. We had this same situation in Toronto about 2 weeks ago, a 4-game series up there, all single games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, drew record crowds. And we're going to do the same thing here this weekend, record crowds for this big series. If you just remember and put everything in proper perspective, when the Tigers went into Toronto, they were 6.5 games behind. They left 6.5 behind. Tonight, they're only 3.5 behind. Well, this large crowd is standing right now, and Senator George Hart of Dearborn will sing the Canadian and the U.S. national anthems.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets swept away, the bombs bursting in there gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the Star-Spangled Banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was Senator George Hart of Dearborn singing the Canadian and the United States national anthem. Now, K-Line, you have the starting lineup, I think, for tonight's game.
I got him right here, George Kell. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Here's the starting batting lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays. Leading off, Damasco Garcia, the second baseman. Batting second, the third baseman, Rance Mullenix. Batting third, playing center field, Lloyd Mosby. Batting fourth, Willie Upshaw at first base. Batting fifth, the offense last night, George Bell in left field. Batting sixth, the catcher, Ernie Witt. Batting seventh, Len Matusek, the DH. Batting eighth and playing right field is Jesse Barfield. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Tony Fernandez. Defensively for the Tigers, Brookins, Trammell, Whitaker, and Bergman. Herndon, Lemon, and Gibson in the outfield. Parrish behind the plate. And Walt Terrell pitching for the Detroit Tigers. Walter making his 16th start and appearance of the season. And he's in search of his 9th win of the year. His record, as you see there, 8 wins and 3 losses, a 4.32 earned run average. He's coming off a loss at Boston. He pitched 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs. He walked 6 and struck out 2. That was a ball game on June 24th, and of course the loser in that game, 9-2. He's trying to revenge a loss to the Toronto Blue Jays on June the 7th, where he pitched 4 1/3 innings and allowed 11 hits, 8 runs, 8 earned runs. He walked 1 and struck out 4, and was tagged for a 9-2 loss. And that's the most hits and runs he has allowed since joining the Detroit Tigers. The Blue Jays lead in the series, season series 3-2, and are 1-0 here. Walt Terrell coming from the New York Mets for outfielder Howard Johnson on December 7th, 1984. Last year with the New York Mets, he was 11-12 with a 3.52 earned run average. Of course, Walter, when he's pitching effectively, will be keeping the ball down with a good moving fastball and throwing some sliders. The slider is a strikeout pitch, particularly to right-handers. Walt Terrell on the mound for the Detroit Tigers.
Al Kaline, this is the 8th annual VFW night at Tiger Stadium. It's being played tonight for a tremendous crowd. We might reach 48 or more thousand here tonight.
And the Tigers go over 1 million tonight.
They go over 1 million people. Toronto did last week. This week, on the last night that they played at home in Toronto, they went over 1 million people. Commander Dino Constantini will make the ceremonial first pitch. He has made the ceremonial first pitch, and we're just about ready to get underway here at Tiger Stadium. Game number 2 of this big weekend series with the Blue Jays. After tomorrow's ball game, Tigers will journey to Baltimore, where they'll open a 3-game series on Monday night against the Baltimore club. It'll be the first visit of the year to Baltimore for the Tigers. Damaso Garcia will lead it off. Garcia, Mullinix, and Mosby will be the Toronto batters. Still a lot of daylight at the old ballpark. And the pitch is a strike. First pitch of the ball game by Walt Terrell. They play this rather shallow on the infield for this fellow. They'll back up a bit with 2 strikes on Garcia.
And a very hard man to walk. He swings at just about anything close to the plate. Keep him off the base, you got a good chance. He stole 46 bases last year.
The 2-strike pitch from Terrell is hit on the ground up the middle, and it's going to be a tough play. Got him. Oh, Whitaker. Lou Whitaker turns this crowd on with a tremendous play.
What a way to start a ball game. Lou Whitaker doing what he does so well. Pretty good pitch right on the corner. Looked like it's going to be a base hit up the middle. Lou Whitaker goes as far as he can, throws off balance, and with a lot to spare. Oh my goodness. Got to be the all-star second baseman again this year in the American League.
They'll bring up Rance Mullinix, the third baseman. It's high, 1 ball. That's an unbelievable play. You can run it back and run it back and run it back, but you get the feeling every time he's not going to throw him out.
I'm talking about somebody who has great speed going down to first base.
Herndon goes near the line for the fly ball. So Mullinix is out number 2, and the batter will be Lloyd Mosby. We mentioned that Baltimore had not won a ball game from the top 4 clubs in the American League East. They beat Boston today 16-4. They took it all out in one afternoon.
At Fenway Park.
At Fenway Park against the Red Sox. The pitch to Mosby. It's a strike. Jim Evans is behind the plate. Johnson at first, Birmingham at second, and Morrison at third, the umpires for tonight's game. Here's a line shot into right center for a base hit. This will go all the way to the fence. He's going to try for 3. It may be close, and he's going to be out.
Oh, there it is again.
He didn't have a chance once Whitaker got the ball.
Oh, my goodness alive. The rifle, the Virginia rifle. Look at this throw to third base on the money. Take a hike.
I tell you, you've got to appreciate the kind of throw that Whitaker made. He threw a strike from shallow right field. No score as we go to the bottom of the first.
compete anymore, but I still pump iron. So after lifting a few hundred pounds, it's nice to lift one of these. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling with a third less calories than the regular beer. Now, you know, bodybuilding is hard work, but having a great body has its advantages. It sure makes it easy to pick up guys. Hi, Rodney.
Oh, hi there. What's going on here? Hey, honey, how about a lift home, huh?
I like beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Delicious. Choice.
Hot.
Fast. Delivers.
Taste.
Domino's Pizza delivers.
Call.
No problem.
The batting lineup for the Detroit Tigers, leading off, you guessed it, Lou Whitaker at second base. Batting second, Alan Trammell, the shortstop. Batting third, the right fielder, Kirk Gibson. Batting fourth, Lance Parrish behind the plate. Batting fifth, the DH, Darrell Evans. Batting sixth, Larry Herndon in left field. Batting seventh, Dave Bergman playing first base. Batting eighth, Chet Lemon center field. Batting ninth, the third baseman is Tom Brookins. Defensively, Molomix, Hernandez, Garcia, Upshaw, Bell, Mosby, Barfield, Witt behind the plate, and Leal, who is struggling this year with a record of 3 wins and 5 losses. You see his earned run average 5.60.
Whitaker will lead it off after 2 tremendous plays in the first inning. He's the leadoff batter. And a pitch low to who? Here's the throw now. Lemon into Whitaker.
Look how he sets up. He throws like an outfielder right now. He throws it all the way on the fly, right on the bag.
And he hits it into the corner in right field. This ball is extra bases.
Well, just put on a show, Lou Whitaker.
Can you believe it?
I tell you what, if this is any indication of how this game is going to go, this has been a dandy already.
Can you believe it? 2 tremendous plays in the first inning. I told Bob here in the booth all he could do to top it was a home run. Well, a double into the corner is the next best thing. And Whitaker's at second base. Nobody out, and the batter is Trammell. He's had a big night, and we have not played 1 inning yet. Trammell batting at .282 with 7 home runs and 27 runs batted in. Allen squares around the bunt.
It's tough play for a base runner when you square around the bunt. You tend to see as a runner on second base, when you see a guy attempt for the to lay the ball down, you lean towards third base and you get picked off a lot of times at second base.
The 1-0 pitch. He bunts, and a good one down the first baseline. Well, the Tigers wasting no time moving the runner to third base. This might have been what they talked about in the meeting in Boston the other day.
I think they did. I think Sparky a little upset with some of the guys not making an attempt to move runners over. They went up there and ground the ball to shortstop and did not move the runners to third base.
Last night in the third inning, he had Whitaker bunting with runners at first and second.
I think Lou did that on his own. In fact, the comments that I heard from Sparky in the paper was that Lewis did it on his own.
Here's a strike to Gibson.
How about this infield playing in already?
I tell you, I've seen some things here tonight. Early on. Infield in tight in the first inning. Nobody wants to give up a run. Gibby checks his swing. Dodgers beat Atlanta. Phillies beat Montreal 6-2. Houston beat the Giants 8-1. Those are all finals in the National League. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gibson. Luis Leal delivers. That'll make it ball 2.
Well, you see how they're trying to pitch Gibson. That's hard inside, hoping that he will hit the ball on the handle, maybe back to the pitcher, or even pop a ball up. Do not like to get Gibson where he can reach out over the plate with those big arms of his.
Well, in Toronto, Al, you remember the big series. He broke about 6 bats. They hit him right on the fist. He came right in on him again, too. Ball 2 and strike 2.
I think in a situation like this, of course, Lou Whitaker will be his own judge at third base, but normally with 1 out, they will try to score the man from third base.
Gibson waiting on the 2-2 pitch from Leal. Runner at third, 1 out. We're in the first inning, no score. 3-2 to Gibson. They really don't have to give you a strike. They have first base open as well as second, and a right-handed batter coming up to set up a double play situation, so he can be extremely careful pitching to Gibson. Here's a fly ball into right field. Let's see what happens. He can throw. Here's the throw to the plate, and he's going to be safe. It was not deep. Jesse Barfield, along with all the outfielders, Al, throws well.
Yeah, I didn't think he threw the ball well at all. He took an awful long time to get rid of the ball. You see, he got great position there, and now he takes a couple extra steps. He must have forgot who was running, because he sort of wound up, took an extra step, and then made a bad throw up the line.
So a sacrifice fly by Gibson. Whitaker scores. The Tigers take an early 1-0 lead. And the batter is Parrish. Base hit into left as he hit a breaking ball and lined it hard to left field. Parrish jumped on the first pitch, and he singles into left field.
Well, so far tonight, Luis Leal is not throwing the ball hard.
We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Tigers 85. Now go for the works with WDIV's live coverage of the Freedom Festival fireworks. That's Monday night at 9 o'clock only here on Channel 4. Second hit of the inning. Whitaker opened with a double, went to third on a bunt, scored on a fly ball, and then Parrish comes through with a base hit. And the batter is Darrell Evans. 1 ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch. It's a ball 2. That's Jim Evans behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Johnson, Bremigan, and Morrison around the infield, the other 3 umpires. It's an important series for the umpires, too. They feel it just like the players do. Ball 3.
Well, what a difference in a year makes. Sounds like it ought to be a song. But Luis Leal is not throwing the ball like we are used to seeing. Bobby Cox is a little upset with the last couple of calls, but Leal used to be able to throw the ball right by you.
3-0 pitch to Evans. He was going to swing at it, and it's inside. Darrell Evans gets a walk. And Bobby Cox says, I'm going to go out and talk about it.
Yeah, he doesn't want this ball game to get out of hand here in the first inning. And he's some people running down to the bullpen very quickly. Bobby's going to, first of all, come out and see if there's anything hurting his young man, 28 years old, and he was signed by Toronto in 1979. Dennis Lamp, number 53, warming up for the Blue Jays. It'll take him a while. Bobby Cox, I guess, will stay out there as long as the umpire lets him. But
tell you, Al, we take a look at Bobby Cox here. I've spent some time in Atlanta, and they'll tell you the biggest mistake they've made with that whole franchise was letting this fella get away.
Good baseball man. He has the respect of his players, and he can be tough when he has to. they have not been happy with their management ever since. In fact, the latest is that the manager will finish the year out, and then Phil Niekro will be the manager next year. That's the rumor going around the league.
Larry Herndon, the batter, with 2 on and 2 outs, and a strike on the outside corner to Herndon.
And I think Larry Herndon is wearing glasses for the first time in a regular game. Larry's been using glasses in batting practice, outfield practice, but then put the contacts back in once the game starts.
Pitch outside makes it 1-1. Now, we thought he was going to use the glasses in Boston. He used them in batting practice, but did not. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parrish at second, Evans at first. 2 outs in the first inning. And a fly ball to center. That'll get him out of the inning. Tigers get a run on 2 hits and a walk, strand 2, and at the end of 1, they lead it 1-0.
Only one major gasoline delivers the highest octane, Sunoco. Not Amoco, not Shell, not Mobil or Marathon. It's Sunoco. Sunoco brings you 93.5 Ultra, the highest octane gasoline. Ultra will eliminate knocking in virtually every car on the road. So to help get top performance, remember, only Sunoco has Ultra, and only Ultra has 93.5 octane.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel! I'm here to win your heart.
Not with that.
Who you gonna turn to?
Rapunzel.
Not that chicken.
Who you gonna turn to?
Rapunzel.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Who you gonna turn to? Who you gonna turn to?
But where are the biscuits?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Yeah, he's ready.
How does it feel when the phone rings and it's for me? Who's batting? Who am I facing? Nervous? I want that nervous edge.
Come on, let's go get him.
Keep cool. Keep cool.
Keep it down, buddy.
I can't trust what I got in the bullpen. Here goes nothing.
Sports Illustrated. Get the feeling.
Well, what a exciting first inning. If that's any indication of the type of ball game we're going to have, Al Kaline, we're in for a big evening.
I don't think I've seen any more exciting. Of course, I may be prejudiced to the outcome of it, but Lou Whitaker, a great fielding play, a great throw to third base, a double. It was just a great inning.
Tigers doing a little something they normally don't do. Trammell bunted him over to third base in the first inning. You don't see that too often. Blue Jays moved their infield in close to try to cut the run down. You don't see many clubs do that. Not even in the first 5 innings. This is Willie Upshaw to lead it off. Upshaw, Bell, and Ernie Whitt will be the batters. Walt Terrell delivers inside to Upshaw. Willie's batting only .229, but he is dangerous, a very dangerous .229.
They have to be a little concerned about Upshaw. He only hit 1 home run from August 30th last year.
Well, Whitaker's going to have to make another great play.
I don't believe it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
hey,
I do too. That's just a phrase.
Normally you'd say, well, he might get him and he might not, but you keep waiting for Lou to come over, and here it is, and boom, boom, he's out.
You know what amazes me is a lot of players can make the play, but the way he's able to throw the ball with a lot on the ball to first base,
Off
running
balance.
off balance.
I don't understand that. A lot of people throw well when they can plant their feet and throw, but to throw off balance. This is George Bell. He won last night's game with a 2-run homer, the only run scored in the ball game.
Well, this guy's made a believer of me. I thought maybe possibly last year was a sort of a fluke type year, but he's a good player.
Pops it up a mile high, and Alan Trammell is there to put it away. So Bell is out, second out in the inning. And the batter will be Detroit's own Ernie Whitt.
And maybe the stabilizing force on this ball club. I think that if something should happen to Ernie Whitt, this ball club would be in a lot of trouble. Very strong. He's a leader type guy, and he plays every day.
8 home runs and 30 runs batted in, and you got to remember he plays on a part-time basis. Against left-handed pitching, he does not catch.
Well, he catches most of the time. There's not that many left-handers.
2 outs, nobody on, second inning. Tigers lead 1-0, and a long drive into deep right center field that's going to be caught by Lemon. He just didn't pull it. He hit it a mile into straightaway center. We go to the bottom of the second. The Tigers 1, Toronto 0.
Each year, the 4th of July brings 4 million mosquito bites, 200,000 sunburns, 50,000 burnt wieners, and 1 dynamite sale. Highland's pre-4th of July sale with spectacular low prices on thousands of items. Like this 13-inch color TV with remote, just $168, save $111. And this Sparkomatic cassette car stereo with free basic installation, just $44. So no matter what you do on the 4th, you'll enjoy it a whole lot more if you get to Highland first.
Over 200 years ago, a symbol was chosen for the American way. A symbol that represented strength and pride. One that would last as long as America itself. Today, the American eagle is an endangered species and needs your help. When you buy Miller beer through the July 4th holiday, look for this special refund offer and find out how you can help Miller help this living symbol live forever.
Miller's made the American way.
The enemy, heat. It can literally bake the life out of your tires. Hence the design for Vector, Goodyear's unique crisscross tread all-season radial. So advanced, its radial construction works like a built-in cooling system to help the tire run cooler and last longer. The Goodyear Vector. It simply performs like no other tire in the world.
1-0, the Tigers lead it as they come to bat in the second. And Al Kaline, our first trivia call tonight, is going to the city of Detroit.
And they're going to get it because Detroit should know this young man.
They should.
The Toronto Blue Jays began Major League play in 1977. Who was their all-time home run leader? He originally signed for a big bonus with Houston, played many years with Kansas City, and he's from the Detroit area, and Johnny Cash wrote a song about him. Big John.
Huh. You going to sing it, or
no.
is that's as far as you're going to go with that, I hope.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, Chuck Waslick said don't let him sing. It doesn't matter to me. Bergman, the batter, with a 1-strike count. He pops it up. Dave Bergman pops it into shallow left field, and that's the first out of the inning. It's not Johnny Cash, is it?
No, and not Johnny Bench either.
And it's not Vince Desmond, who has just appeared in our booth. He's having a lot of trouble getting the ball out of that bag. Chester Lemon will bat with 1 out and nobody on. And the pitch from Luis Leal. It's high. Vince Desmond came up in the era I did. We didn't have any new baseballs. We didn't know how to get them out of a box. The 1-0 pitch is fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Leal set his major league mark last year by winning 13 games. And he had a career high of 134 strikeouts.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball 2, strike 1. Tigers got a run in the first. Whitaker double. They bunted him to third, and a fly ball by Gibson got him in. Outside again. Ball 3, strike 1 to Lemon. Tigers put 2 more runners aboard after Whitaker scored, but Herndon flied to center to end the threat. The 3-1 pitch to Chet. Here's a long drive. Oh, goodbye. Upper deck for Chester Lemon.
Tigers trying to get some punch down in the lower part of the lineup, particularly the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th spot. Chester Lemon may be just that guy, hitting his 4th home run. As you called it, George Kell, that ball was way out of here.
Well, this stadium was full last night, but they didn't have anything like this to cheer about. See the swing.
Actually hit a pretty good pitch, a good fastball in the middle of the plate, but it was down.
That'll bring up Tom Brookins. And a strike to Tommy. That's the 3rd Tiger hit and the 4th base runner. Here's a line drive left center. This is in for a hit. Brookins heads for second, and he's going to have to hurry. Save for the double. Tommy Brookins.
Tommy Brookins also hits a very good pitch. Looked like a one-handed shot. Left center field. Breaking ball in the gap. Tough play for an outfielder to have to set himself and make a throw, particularly a right-hander in that case.
It's going to start more action in the bullpen as we look at the throw into second base, but not in time to get Brookins. Mosby, like Barfield and Bell, all throw well.
That's Dennis Lamp again. It won't take him too long to get ready. He was throwing in the 1st inning. And I like to see us get a few more runs because Dennis Lamp has been very tough on the Detroit Tigers when he was with the White Sox.
Here's Whitaker, who had a double to start the game for the Tigers. Two to nothing, the Tigers lead it. Brookins at second with 1 out. Pitch is outside. Leal wanted to discuss that one a little bit with Jim Evans. Here's the base runner, Brookins. That'll even the count at 1-1 to Lou. Bergman started this inning with a fly ball to left. Lemon hit a home run. Brookins doubled. And the 1-1 pitch to Whitaker. This will be caught in left field as Bell backs up a few steps. He kept keeping the ball in the outside part of the plate to Lou and got him to fly to left field. So it'll be up to Trammell with a runner at second and 2 outs. Trammell bunted in the 1st inning. He moved Whitaker from second on to third base. And he'd like to rescue Tom Brookins. Pitch in tight. They have given the signal from the bullpen that Dennis Lamp is ready when they need him. When and if. One ball, no strikes to Trammell. Good breaking pitch. That'll make it 1-1. We had some rain, as you must know by now, just a few minutes before game time, but right now there's not a cloud in the sky. Outside, and it's ball 2. Ball 2, strike 1. You see Brookins gets that big lead. He knows on a base hit that he's going to have to hurry. And a pop-up on the infield. Mullenix is there and puts it away, so Leal gets out of it after giving up the home run to Lemon. At the end of 2, the Tigers lead it 2-0.
There's one day of the week folks around here set aside all to themselves, just so they can enjoy a favorite pastime.
Getting an early start?
Yep.
Need some bait? Nope.
They spend a few quiet moments reading the Sunday Free Press. The Free Press. Come Sunday, everything else can wait.
There's still a place where you're free to test your limits, to go as far as you can. A place where beer is beer and the brand is Miller.
Miller's made the American way. Born and brewed in the USA, just as proud as the people who are drinking it today. Miller's made the American way.
Miller beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
What can you do in just 1 second of your business day? With Michigan Bell's advanced digital transmission capabilities, you could send 4,200 letters, or 6,300 graphic designs, or 63,000 sales orders, or 315,000 parts descriptions in 1 second. Call Michigan Bell, and we'll help you make every second count.
Well, our first trivia call went to Michael Fields of Detroit, Al, and he could not answer your question.
Oh, I thought he was going to get it. The Toronto Blue Jays began Major League play in 1977. Who was their all-time home run leader? He went to high school in Detroit. He played for Kansas City and Houston. He hit 92 home runs for Toronto. A first baseman.
That's enough.
First name is John.
They'll get it in Alpena. Our second call is going to Alpena. Len Matusik will lead it off. Matusik, Jesse Barfield, and Tony Fernandez, the batters. Tigers 2, Blue Jays nothing. Terrell delivers a strike on the outside corner. This fellow was slated to be the regular first baseman for the Phillies this year, and in the early spring he was traded to Toronto. One ball, one strike. That'll make it ball 2.
Is Mike Spitz still playing first base for Philadelphia?
Yes, he is. And Bob Horner is for Atlanta. A couple of third basemen moved over to first. The 2-1 pitch. Ball 3.
Matusik's been struggling at the plate. They thought this fellow was going to add some added punch for the Blue Jays, but he has only 2 home runs, batting .217.
It's ball 3, strike 1 as Terrell delivers, and a bouncer. Here's another one, and he bobbles it. Oh, he can't make them all. That might have been his easiest play.
Well, almost a identical play. Lou Whitaker has turned this twice already tonight. You see there he closed his glove a little too soon.
Whitaker is charged with an error on the play.
Well, that's what happens when you're so good. You're supposed to make every play. That's a tough error.
Second base runner for the Blue Jays.
That's a tough error.
Crowd booing a bit too. That'll bring up Jesse Barfield. Runner at first, nobody out. And a strike on the outside corner. 1 strike to Barfield.
I could see calling that an error if it would have been the first hit of the ball game. Usually the first hit has to be a very clean one.
Strike 2. He got the inside corner. He came to the outside with a slider and then popped one over the inside corner to Barfield. Bergman holds against the runner. Everybody else deep for the double play ball. Here's the 2-strike pitch. I'm telling you, it was close. Terrell says, just give me the ball back. I think both he and Parrish thought it was a strike.
I think the umpire thought it was a strike too, because he almost went with the hand.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That'll make it 2-2 as you saw Terrell come down and deliver from the side.
Barfield, one of the better hitters against left-handers. He has some trouble against right-handed pitching. Has a lot of power.
This might be a double play. I tell you, the Tigers turn the double play about as well as anybody in baseball.
Good play by Walter here. He sets himself. He knows who's going to cover. Makes a good throw to Lou. Lou's able to get the ball in plenty of time and get out of the way of the base runner. And believe me, the second baseman and shortstop appreciate good throws.
Tony Fernandez will bat with 2 outs and nobody on. This fella has really come into his own as a hitter. Everybody knew that he could handle the glove extremely well, but I think he's hit Al better than maybe they thought he would.
Well, he's batting over 300, and that's quite a deal for an infielder, someone with great responsibility like a shortstop. And he has done everything asked of him. He has pretty good speed, although he's not the base stealing type guy. He has good quickness, but he's not a real good base runner.
1 ball, no strikes to Fernandez. And this is hit to Whitaker. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's still the Tigers 2, the Blue Jays nothing.
Here's hardworking news from Chevy Trucks. Now, low 8.8 financing on new full-size C10 and 20 pickups. That's an average savings of about $1,300 on C10 Chevys. An average savings of about $1,500 on C20s. Big Chevy work trucks with tough girder beam front suspension. 8.8 financing on full-size Chevy trucks. Nothing works harder for your buck. Nothing works like a Chevy truck.
It's right here in Michigan, the world's largest carpet specialty retailer, New York Carpet World, nationally recognized for our thoroughly trained sales force, known nationwide for instant installation and the lowest prices always. But did you know we have the largest selection of top-of-the-line, prestige quality carpets? More pure wool carpets than you'll find anywhere else. Natural wool Berbers, thick wool plush carpets, spunky, resilient, long-lasting wool. The best carpets, always lower priced at New York Carpet World.
Have you ever seen so many clams? It's incredible.
Here's to good friends.
Wow, look at the size of that.
Night is kind of special. Beer will pour.
This is the only way to go shopping.
Must say something more somehow.
I think Linda picked up some low brow.
So tonight.
Now tell me, how are we gonna cop this?
Tonight.
Well, we got all summer to try.
Let it be low and brow.
Well, our second trivia call went to Dale Zampich, Z-A-M-P-I-C-H of Alpena. Dale was not there. I guess he's at the old ballpark. So our third call is going to Luther, Michigan. I want to give that question real quick now.
Real quick, okay, very quickly. Who is the all-time Toronto Blue Jay home run leader? Went to high school in Detroit, played for Kansas City, Houston.
Gibson will lead it off for the Tigers. Gibby had a run batted in with a fly ball his first time up.
And I tell you, with this ball club, he will not be the home run leader very much longer.
One ball, one strike to Gibson, and the pitch from Leal, and a ground ball to first, picked off by Upshaw, and he beats him to the bag. Ball took a little bit of a bad hop. It came up on Upshaw. He stayed with it and made a good play. Parrish had a single his first time up. One of the 4 Tiger hits. Tigers have had a home run by Lemon, doubles by Brookins and Whitaker, and a single by Parrish. And they lead it 2-0. Right down the middle. Lemon hit a towering home run, in case you missed it, into the upper deck and left center field. And the 1-strike pitch to Lance. That'll make it 1-1.
I'm going to take back my original guess there. I think they're more than 48,000 here tonight.
Yeah, I think so. They were under the stands during the rain, but here's a strike on the outside corner. I don't believe there's an empty seat in the house. Very few, anyway. Over 50,000.
Is that your prediction?
That's my guess. Over 50,000. Boy, you can see as Chuck Wosley pans the crowd for you. Fly ball into the corner in right field. It's going to be a foul ball and will be caught. So Parrish is the second out of the inning, and the batter will be Darrell Evans. Here's our upcoming TV schedule now. We'll be here tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock with the final game of this series. Then Tuesday night at 7:30 we'll be in Baltimore, and Wednesday night at 7:30 against the Birds. After the series in Baltimore, the Tigers go on down to Texas, and if they've been looking for hot weather, it's waiting for them down in Arlington. 1 strike to Darrell Evans. Darrell drew a walk back in the first inning. And the 1-strike pitch. Strike 2. Luis Lual had some problems in the first 2 innings, but he's moving right along here in the third. Getting Gibson and Parrish and 2 quick strikes on Evans. That'll make it 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Leal. Look out. Souvenir baseball in our booth for a moment. I do not need a souvenir baseball. Not like that.
He was carrying a tray of hot dogs and peanuts. He almost got it right in the box.
Darrell Evans waiting on the 1-2 pitch from Leal. He might have fouled that one. Trying to get out of the way of it. I believe it. I don't know. The scoreboard went up 2-2, but it sounded like it hit his bat. Maybe not. We'll see. Umpire seems to be satisfied with the scoreboard reading ball 2, strike 2. This is foul. Leal is not throwing that hard, as you pointed out, Al, and he looks to be throwing right into the wheelhouse of the left-handers.
He's been relying on breaking pitches. Seems like his most effective pitches, and every time he throws a fastball, they hit it hard someplace.
Ball 3, strike 2 to Evans. He walked Darrell in the first inning, and it's 3-2 this time at bat. Tigers 2, Blue Jays nothing. And the payoff pitch coming up. He walked him. Second walk, and they've both been to Darrell. That'll bring up Herndon, who flied to center field his first time up. Pittsburgh leading the Cubs 4-1 at the end of 4. That's in Pittsburgh. The Mets are in St. Louis to play the Cardinals. No score at the end of 1. Leal throwing to first base, but I don't think there's any chance that Evans would be running. Pitch outside to Herndon, unless it was a hit and run play. Try to score him on an extra base hit with 2 outs. He gave him a token toss on the first throw and then came back with his good move to first base. 1 ball, no strikes, runner at first with 2 outs. And Larry fouls it away. The inning started with Gibson bouncing to first base. Parrish fouled out to right field. Darrell Evans drew a walk, and the count is even at 1-1 to Herndon. One ball, 1 strike. Now we're ready. It's low and ball 2. Ball 2, strike 1. Herndon batted in the first inning with 2 runners aboard and flied to center field. You see Bobby Cox. He is not at all happy with what he's seen. They're going to start the bullpen again. Dennis Lamp has been throwing in every inning. Ball 2, strike 1 to Herndon. And a strike on the outside corner evens the count at 2-2. Milwaukee got 2, and they lead the Yankees 2-0 at the end of 2. Herndon waiting on the 2-2 pitch from Leal. Looks as if Larry hits Leal, he's going to have to go to right center. He's keeping everything away from him.
Larry, the first couple of years when he played for the Tigers, hit the ball extremely hard to right center field, left center field.
Leal is ready again and goes to first base with it.
I would have checked Evans' stolen base record. He must know more than I do about it.
The only thing I can figure out, they figure he might run him so he'd score on an extra base hit. He's not going to steal second. Not unless there's a breakdown somewhere. That pitch was close. 3-2 to Herndon. Ball 3, strike 2, which means the runner at first, Darrell Evans, will go on this pitch. Here it is. And a foul out of play. Do you believe in the old theory? Sometimes you can throw over there so much you lose your concentration at the plate.
Oh, absolutely. It's a different throw to first base.
Instead of going right at Herndon, he's made about 5 throws to first base. Ball 3, strike 2. Well, they're still after Darrell. Herndon waits on the 3-2 pitch, and he chops it towards shortstop. Throw to first and got him on a close play, and it was close at first base. We go to the top of the 4th inning. The Tigers lead it 2-0.
Got me a case of the 501 blues, here from my waist right down to my shoes. You ain't got it, not like me. It's my strength to fit, permanent identity. 501 blues, legendary 501 blues. Levi's butterfly.
J.C. Penney, your headquarters for Levi pre-washed 501 jeans.
Just because it's hot outside, there's no reason to blow your cool. Get a heat pump. The heat pump cools your home and operates more efficiently than standard central air.
Increases the value of your home and even pays for itself.
The heat pump.
Maybe they should call it the cool pump.
Tigers 85 continues, brought to you in part by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. When buying a new car or truck, remember, the price advantage belongs to your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. By Red Lobster Restaurants, there's never been a better place, and now there's never been a better time for seafood. By J.C. Penney, your headquarters for Levi pre-washed 501 jeans. And by Kentucky Fried Chicken, try our Kentucky Nuggets, the best tasting chicken nuggets anywhere.
Well, our third trivia call went to Pete Musser of Luther, Michigan, and Pete just could not answer your question now, Kaline.
I'm surprised. I thought that would be an easy one. Okay, who is the Toronto Blue Jays all-time home run leader? He plays first base. He played for the Blue Jays 1978 to 1982. He went to high school in Detroit and played for Kansas City and Houston. Oh, that's an easy one. He led the Blue Jays in home runs 4 years straight. His high was 30 in 1980.
Say Johnny Cash wrote a song about him, Big John.
Big John. Didn't Don Knotts played in the TV show and the town was Mayberry or something like that?
Andy of Mayberry.
Andy of Mayberry.
I'd rather give that hint out than you said you were going to sing a couple of bars of Big John if that would be your next clue. Our fourth call is going to Sterling Heights. Garcia pops it up into center field. Easy play for Chet Lemon. So Damaso Garcia is the first out of the inning. The batter will be the third baseman, Rance Mullenix. Big John played for Houston. He was a big star in Kansas City for a long time and evidently a big star in Toronto. He holds the home run record up there at the moment. And he's from Detroit. Here's a strike to Mullenix. Rance Mullenix flied to left field his first time up. We're in the fourth inning at Tiger Stadium. 2-0. The Tigers lead it. And the pitch to Mullenix is strike 2. Jim Evans went up with the right hand, and Mullenix left the batter's box.
Fellas having another good year for Toronto. He led the Blue Jays in hitting last year, batting .324.
Terrell trying to get the outside corner again. Blue Jays have been fortunate, extremely fortunate, to platoon so well at third base, getting great production from this guy and Org. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ball hit deep towards second. Whitaker throws him out. Lou went far to his left, bobbled the ball in the air for just a moment, and then flipped on to first base. We'll look at it again. He's had only one easy play.
You see Lou bobbles the ball. A little upset with himself because he made a bad throw. The front of the home plate here is very, very soft. I don't know whether this is by design or not, but right on the dirt, right in front of home plate. Very, very soft.
There's a pop-up on the infield. Bergman near the bag, and he'll put it away. So a 1-2-3 inning for Walt Terrell. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Tigers 2, the Blue Jays nothing.
Boy, could I go for a nice cold light beer from Miller. So I thought I'd just pop in at my favorite hangout and have one with the guys. Well, the whole gang drinks light. Oh, sure, there's a lot of other light beers around, but we all agree that light beer from Miller tastes terrific. And get this, it's less filling.
John, how many times have I told you, use the door, huh?
I forgot, I'm sorry.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Like I was saying, light beer tastes great. And another thing.
I'm Rick Fowler, State Farm agent, Orlando, Florida, speaking for the thousands of State Farm agents around the country. With State Farm's Home Alert discount, you'll save money on your homeowner's insurance. With deadbolt door locks, a smoke alarm, and a fire extinguisher. You can't lose. You save money on your homeowner's insurance, and you protect your home. Ask a State Farm agent about the Home Alert discount.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In the beginning, man's feet walked free. But the road to civilization was paved, so man developed shoes. Soon after that, man developed athlete's foot.
You got it.
Today, there's Mycotin. Mycotin cures athlete's foot. It's the only athlete's foot medicine you can buy with myconazole, a patented ingredient recommended by specialists to cure athlete's foot. Mycotin in spray, powder, or cream. Mycotin, the end of the road for athlete's foot.
Dave Bergman will lead it off for the Tigers. Bergie, Lemon, and Brookins against the big right-hander Luis Leal.
Johnny Grubb played last night. He was the DH. John is being bothered by a very sore heel. So they're trying to get Bergman in the lineup, him playing first base, and Evans the DH tonight. Tigers would love to get another bat hot lower in the lineup. Top five have been doing a great job. They need a little bit more production from their one of the lower four players.
It's a strike to Bergman, one strike to Dave, who flied to left field his first time up. Leal delivers in the dirt. Got a letter here from an 8-year-old youngster, Dean Allen Hartley, great Tiger fan, and Dean Allen wants to know what it means. Says no pepper sign along the walls, the railing. And Dean Allen, I'll tell you in just a moment. Players do this before the stands are open. They'll put a batter out there and they'll throw the ball, 3 or 4 or 5 players, and they'll bat the ball to him, and they'll all field it, taking ground balls and whatever. But once the stands are open, they don't want to do that, for the simple reason the batter might hit the ball in the seats and hit somebody. Is that about right?
And there's the sign right there. They don't want anybody to be hitting the ball towards the stands.
Pepper is a great game with ball players. They throw the ball and the batter will bounce it, hit it on the ground. It's a good game, but
great
not
for the reflexes.
Not when you're hitting it at the crowd, and they don't allow it once the game starts. There's a foul out of play. Chuck Wisely picked that no pepper sign up right quick. I was looking for it. I couldn't see it, but he found it with one of the cameras.
You know who was the greatest pepper hitter I've ever seen? Ted Williams.
You're kidding.
He used to take batting practice hitting pepper.
You're kidding.
10 feet away from you.
Ball 2, strike 2 to Bergman. Dave leads off in the 4th inning for the Tigers. And another foul out of play. Bergman, I think, as everybody knows by now, had 2 big home runs against the Blue Jays last year in extra innings, and they're keeping the ball away from him. I think they both came in the 10th inning, both 3-run homers. Ball 2, strike 2. That'll make it 3-2.
Dave's been trying to cut his swing down. He feels he has a long swing, and he's trying to make it a little shorter, trying to hit down on the ball, more line drives.
Here's one gone, way back and out of here. Bergman has done it again.
His first home run of the year, Bergie. Looks like he gets a pitch up in the strike zone, and he hits it in the upper deck. And they sure like to see his bat get going again.
Well, Bergman puts the Tigers in front 3-0 as we look at it again. He knew it was gone from the moment he hit it. That's the good news, Al Kaline, but I'm afraid we have some bad news. We're going to look at the swing here. Doug Flynn went down the left field line and warmed up. Here's Lemon with a drive into right center for a base hit. Chester Lemon gets a base hit. I'm afraid Whitaker hurt himself on that throw. I saw him grab his knee when he made the throw on the last ground ball, and Flynn has been warming up, although Lou is coming out to hit right now. And Bobby Cox is coming out.
Yeah, he's seen all he wants of Luis Leal. He obviously having some kind of problems because he's certainly not throwing the ball like we're used to seeing last year when he could just throw the ball by the hitters. But he's struggling some. And Dennis Lamp, who's been warming up every inning, makes his way to the pitcher's box. As I mentioned, Dennis Lamp always has been very, very tough on the Detroit Tigers when he was with the Chicago White Sox and with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, while there's a break in the action with the score, the Tigers 3, Blue Jays nothing, we'll pause for these messages.
For over 60 years, people have trusted Rust-Oleum to protect metal from rust. Now, after helping protect things in yards across America, Rust-Oleum is hitting the road. Rust-Oleum introduces the first complete line of products formulated to prevent rust on cars. New body fillers, touch-up paints, even waxes. They all protect against rust so your car will look better longer. Nobody fights rust like Rust-Oleum.
Setting off to find America. Gonna take my own sweet time to find America.
Kodacolor VR films, capturing America in all its glorious colors.
And everywhere I see people smiling back at me, so glad to be in America.
Kodak film, because time goes by.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Detroit Baseball Club and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any use or reproduction of this game without the written consent of the Detroit Baseball Club is prohibited. The announcers for these telecasts are selected by the Detroit Baseball Club and WDIV and compensated by WDIV.
Dennis Lamp now pitching for the Blue Jays. He has a perfect 5-0 record. 24 games, a 3.16 earned run average.
Tommy Brookins, the batter, he squares to bunt, and they call for the pitch out. Blue Jays figuring the Tigers either going to sacrifice or hit and run, and they went for the pitch out on the first pitch. Tommy squared around. which lets them know what Sparky Anderson has in mind.
Dennis Lamp signed as a free agent in January '84, but he had a very, very disappointing year for the Blue Jays in '84. A record of 8 wins, 8 losses, and only 9 saves in 56 games.
Inside as Brookins squared again to bunt. Would you believe in that ball game in Boston today, they scored 20 runs, 16-4 Baltimore won it. There were only 3 home runs.
What, 3 grand slams?
Could have been. I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it. Ball 2, no strikes. And the pitch. And a good bunt. Tommy Brookins got it down in exactly the right spot. He moves Lemon to second, and Lou Whitaker will be the batter.
And here's the bunt. This is what you want to do. Make the first baseman field the ball. Because the third baseman is charging, and you don't want to bunt it directly back to the pitcher. So you bunt towards first base.
I tell you, I don't think people give managers enough credit. I really don't think they do today in this world of high-priced ball players. But Sparky took over up in Boston. He had a meeting, and you see the results right now. Here's a ground ball to second. That'll move the runner on to third base. Doug Flynn is going to bat for Trammell. It's Trammell that's hurt, not Whitaker. Doug Flynn is out of the dugout. Here he is, and he's going to bat in place of Trammell. Oh, Whitaker bounces out. Lemon goes to third with 2 outs, and Doug Flynn will come on to bat for Alan Trammell.
And we'll pass along as soon as we find out something. What is the extent of the injury to Alan Trammell? If in fact there is an injury, he could be sick, not feeling well.
And a strike to Flynn. Tigers have picked up a run this inning on a home run by Bergman. They lead it 3-0, and a runner at third base with 2 outs. I don't think it's strike 2 as Doug went for a bad pitch.
I mentioned that Dennis Lamp has been very tough on the Tigers. He is 6-0 against the Detroit Tigers with a 1.64 earned run average. He has allowed only 36 hits in 60 innings coming into this season.
1 ball, 2 strikes. He is a sinker ball slider pitcher. He keeps the ball moving, doesn't throw that many fastballs. When he does, he tries to jam with it. Fly ball left field. That'll get him out of the inning. Tigers get a run on 2 hits, strand a man, and at the end of 4, they lead it 3-0.
I'm a hero with the kids. Even the hot dogs taste good.
We ask people who love to cook out about the charcoal they cook with.
You use the best meat, you can use the best coal. Kingsford charcoal.
It's a smoky charcoal taste. It's not the same as you get anywhere else.
Yeah, a lot of times you use Kingsford, you don't have to put any sauce on it. Yeah, I use the Kingsford because I can count on it. Kingsford's the best.
I can't wait for that first bite.
It's as good as Mom and Apple Pie, I think.
I'm going Kingsford tonight.
Here's hardworking news from Chevy Trucks. Now, low 8.8 financing on new full-size C10 and 20 pickups. That's an average savings of about $1,300 on C10 Chevys. An average savings of about $1,500 on C20s. Big Chevy work trucks with tough girder beam front suspension. 8.8 financing on full-size Chevy trucks. Nothing works harder for your buck. Nothing works like a Chevy truck.
This is the symbol of excellence in overnight delivery.
All right, you'll have them for the game tomorrow. Don't worry. Hey, and seek one for me, huh?
This is express mail next day service from the post office. Our 2-pound pack is just $10.75, about half what most others charge. And when you need it there tomorrow, we deliver.
Marcon sinks it to win 91-90.
Express mail service. We deliver excellence for less.
Doug Flynn.
Doug Flynn normally plays mostly at second base, but he is a very excellent fielder.
So the report on Alan Trammell is a strained right forearm. He did it while Shaw will lead it off. And he fouls it right at the plate. Willie Upshaw bounced to second base his first time up. Our fourth trivia call went to Kathy Arnott of Sterling Heights, Michigan, and Kathy could not answer our question. So our last call is going to Traverse City, Michigan. Big John from Mayberry. Pitch outside makes it 1-1. The leading home run hitter for the Blue Jays. That's the question?
That's right. Who is the leading all-time home run hitter for the Blue Jays? He has 92 career home runs.
Big John of Mayberry. And a pitch outside makes it ball 2. Ball 2, strike 1. And the pitch from Terrell. Ball 3. Terrell hasn't walked anybody. He's allowed 1 hit. Blue Jays have had a runner safe on an error. He walks Willie Upshaw to open the 5th inning. And the batter will be George Bell, the hot-hitting George Bell, who had a 2-run homer last night. The only run scored in the game.
He was originally signed by the Philadelphia Phillies in '78, and he was selected by Toronto from the Oklahoma City in the Major League Draft December of 1980.
The Blue Jays have the leadoff man on in the 5th inning. Bell, who popped to the shortstop, steps in. The pitch coming up. Good stop by Parrish. Tigers played deep on the infield. They set up in double play position for this fella. They have turned 1 double play tonight. Boy, he made a whale of a pitch, and George Bell wants Jim Evans to look at the baseball. He says, I can't believe the bottom dropped out of it. One ball, 1 strike. Bergman holds against the runner. Everybody else deep. Ball 2. Ball 2, strike 1. Bell takes a lot of time. Between every pitch, he takes a lot of time before he gets back in. There's another ball. Terrell, who hasn't walked anybody until this inning, walked Willie Upshaw to start the inning, and he's behind 3-1 on Bell. The runner was on his way, and the pitch was fouled off to the left. And a whale of a play by this young man right here. He just reached over the railing with his glove and speared it. Yes, sir. What a happy moment for that youngster.
That'd be a great thrill. Tell you, running the runner with 3-1 count, a lot of confidence in your batter. Good strike zone.
Ball 3, strike 2, and you got to assume he'll go again. He does. Bouncing ball to third. Well, they saved the double play by running. George Bell is out, third to first, and the batter will be Ernie Whitt. We'll pause. Tusek was safe on an error in the third, and he walked Upshaw in the fifth. It's been the three base runners against him. Mullenix has flied to left and bounced to Whitaker. Pitch outside to Mullenix. $47,900 plus in the old ballpark tonight. Outside ball two. Ball two, no strikes. And the pitch. It's a ball. 3-0 to Mullenix, leading off here in the seventh inning. Bill Scheer throws in the Tiger bullpen. Here's a strike. Well, you can see Mullenix on the 2-0 pitch. He was taking all the way, and of course 3-0. And he takes another one.
They want to make him hit to get on. He has a little bit of power. He doesn't have great power. His best home run year was in '83. He had 10 home runs, but you want to make him hit to get on base.
He walked him. Well, Mullenix gets a walk, and that's the last thing that Terrell wanted to do with Mosby, Upshaw, Bell coming up. He didn't want to walk the little guy, but he lost him on the 3-2 pitch. Here's Mosby, who had a double in the first inning. He's had the only Blue Jay hit. And a strike right down the middle. Mosby taking all the way. They throw some tough left-handed hitters at you. Mullenix, Mosby, Upshaw, Whitt, Tusek.
I think the Blue Jays are only 500 against left-handers this year.
Makes it strike two to Mosby. Willie Hernandez makes his way to the Tiger bullpen. He's taking his jacket off as if excuse me, Al.
I was going to say, in fact, the Toronto Blue Jays have won 10 and lost 13 against left-handers. So you like to be able to throw left-handers at this lineup if you can.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Whitaker's going to get one man here, and that's all. Mosby hit it high in the air on a one big hop, and they had no chance for a double play ball.
And the only way you can make the double play there, and I don't think you could make it on Mosby, was to tag the runner. And I think Mullenix was expecting Lou to try to tag him. You can see there he goes out of the baselines. But at this stage of the game, you want to make sure you get one.
There's Willie Upshaw, who has bounced to second and walked in his 2 trips to the plate. And he gets a base hit. Willie Upshaw drilled it by Flynn into left field. That's only the second Blue Jay hit. Down to second goes Mosby. Blue Jays have him at first and second, 1 out. And the batter is Bell, who's popped it up and bounced to third base.
And Bell, probably the most feared hitter on this ball club. He not only can hit for average, he can hit for power. Likes the ball up in the strike zone.
The pitch from Terrell in the dirt. Parrish stops it, and the runners hold on at first and second.
Good play by Lance to keep the ball in front of him and keep the double play possible.
One ball, no strikes to Bell. Oh, what a play. I don't believe it. play by Brookins.
I tell you what, this ball was hit as hard as you can hit a ball, and Tommy Brookins timed his leap, his dive. Look at that play. Oh my goodness. We have seen what Major League Baseball is all about here tonight.
We'll bring up Ernie Whitt, who has flied deep to center and bounced to second in 2 trips. It's been showtime at the old ballpark. Some great plays.
And they're the kind of plays that win games. Sure, home runs are great, but you have to make the plays day in and day out.
Third and final game of this series will be played tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be right back at 1 o'clock with that ball game. We'll be here with you. Ball 2, no strikes to Ernie Whitt, and Terrell's got to be very careful with this man. And he pops it up. He gets in to pop it up on the infield. Tommy Brookins puts it away, and the inning is over. Terrell pitches out of a jam. Aided by Brookins. Great play at third base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Tigers 5 and the Blue Jays nothing.
When you take one of these things up, you've got a crew to help.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Delco.
When it comes to my car or truck, I do the work myself. In 40 years, AC spark plugs have never let me down. And with today's technology, AC fire ring spark plugs are engineered to give you up to 30,000 miles reliable performance. Never wait for trouble. Go with AC fire ring spark plugs.
Call 800 AC Delco for a retailer near you.
Over 100 years ago, Frederick Miller started an American tradition. He put his beer in clear bottles to show its purity, its quality.
Miller's made the American way.
Nothing's really changed since Frederick Miller's day. Miller still means purity you can see, quality you can taste. It contains no additives, no preservatives, and still comes in the same clear bottle for the same clear reasons.
Miller's made the American way.
Back to school. At First of America training centers across Michigan, that's where our banking professionals are headed. Because today, you need a banking partner who stays ahead, learning together, working together, to come up with answers you're looking for.
What about
At First of America, that's the spirit we're polishing. It's the spirit of banking that really makes you shine.
Working together to be first.
Ron Musselman now pitching for Toronto. He's having a good year for himself. He's been beat around the minor leagues for quite a few years, but Musselman so far this year, you see his record, 2 wins and no losses. Although he has given up more hits than innings pitched, and his earned run average is 5.06, but he's been able to do the job when called on. He spent a lot of time in the California, Houston, Seattle, traded to the Texas Rangers in December of '82, and then he was sent to Oklahoma City, and the Blue Jays purchased him from Syracuse August 16th, 1984. Musselman now pitching for the Blue Jays.
Gibson will lead it off in the 7th. Gibson, Parrish, and Evans will be the Tiger batters. 5-0. Detroit leads it as they bat in the 5th inning. Here's a long drive, and it's gone. Oh, Gibby has Tommy hawked it. The first pitch.
Well, the home run leader for the Detroit Tigers, number 16 for Gibson. He now has 50 RBIs. That also leads the Detroit Tigers. And he jumped on the very first pitch. I believe it was a high breaking ball and lines it in the upper deck.
I don't think the World Series was this much fun. Here's his swing and the shot into the upper deck. And Parrish takes it low. Boy, that ball jumped out of here quickly. It'll make it 2-0 to Parrish.
I tell you, Gibson doesn't hit too many cheap ones.
No, you're right. One of the Boston writers told me the other night that Gibson would be a great hitter in Fenway Park because he hits a lot of balls to left field that would reach the fence, and when he hits one to right, the 380 doesn't bother him.
Plus, he's seen nothing but right-handed pitchers.
Parrish gets a walk on 4 pitches. Oh, Musselman coming on in relief here in the 7th, gives up a home run on the first pitch to Gibson. Then he walks Parrish on 4 pitches. Darrell Evans is 0 for 1, and he takes a strike. I believe the scoreboard said Moose Haas has a no-hitter going against the Yankees. Outside, and it's 1-1 to Darrell. One ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. Ball 2. Leal started. Dennis Lamp came on in the 4th. Ron Musselman here in the 7th inning. And the 2-1 pitch to Evans, and he pops it foul. 6-0. The Tigers lead it in the 7th inning. It looks as if Willie Hernandez will be the new Tiger pitcher in the 8th inning. Willie completed his warm-up tosses and came to the dugout. Well, we'll wait and see.
I want to disagree with you. I think they told him to sit down. That's why he just came back.
That makes more sense. Terrell is working on a 2-hit shutout, and that would make more sense if they just told him to sit down. Ball 3, strike 2 to Darrell Evans. There goes the runner, and a wild pitch on ball 4, but Parrish will have to hold it second. He came inside and got it inside and low and threw it by the catcher.
One thing about Darrell Evans, even when he doesn't get any hits, he has such a great eye at the plate. He's always getting a base on balls. This is the 3rd walk of the night. Of course, he's always had a great eye. Led the National League a couple times.
That'll bring up Herndon with 2 on, nobody out. And if Sparky holds true to form, he'll be bunting here.
Well, I don't know. 6 runs is not an awful lot of runs, but I don't know whether Sparky will try to rub it in on the Blue Jays or not. You don't want these things to come back to haunt him later on. Well, he didn't bunt, did he?
No, he didn't bunt, but I don't buy that. I think you've got to play straight baseball. I mean, if you want to bunt, you bunt. Hit and run, whatever. There's a pop fly into center field. That'll hold the runners at first and second. So Willie Herndon is out, number 1, and the batter will be Bergman. Dave Bergman got his first home run of the year here tonight. Tigers have hit 3 home runs, 1 by Lemon, 1 by Bergman, and the 1 by Gibson leading off this inning. Parrish at second, Evans at first, 1 out. And a ball to Berge. Ron Musselman is the pitcher, and here's the pitch. A strike makes it 1-1. Leal walked 2 batters while he was in there. Lamp walked 2. And Musselman's walked 2 this inning. Ball 2, strike 1 to Berge.
Musselman, one of the new generation of pitchers that have developed that split finger fastball. He's beat around the minor leagues for about 10 years. And that pitch there has enabled him to have a job in the major leagues.
Ball 2, strike 1. And a line drive's going to be a double play. No, safe. He had an easy double play at second base. He threw it back to first, and he did not get Evans.
And Lance had straight off too far. In fact, he slipped at second base. An easy play. Berge hits the ball hard. Well, it's good to see Dave swinging like he is. Oh, he's out. No, he didn't have his foot on the base. He would have been out.
It's the second out of the inning. Whit out talking to his pitcher as Chet Lemon steps in. This inning started with a home run by Gibson on the very first pitch. Then Parrish drew a walk. Evans a walk. Herndon flied out, and Bergman lined out. And a strike to Lemon. Chester Lemon has had a home run and 2 singles tonight. Batted in 1 and scored 2.
Getting great production out of the bottom 3 hitters. 4 RBIs out of the Bergman, Lemon, and Brookins.
One ball, 1 strike to Chet. 6-0. The Tigers lead it. We're in the 7th inning. And a strike makes it 1 and 2. He just made a whale of a pitch on Lemon, and Chet wanted to step out and think about it for a moment. Ground ball to third. Easy play for Mullenix, and the inning is over. Tigers get a run on the home run by Gibson. And at the end of 7, they lead it 6-0.
Speaking for Burger King, I am proud to announce that we have just changed the Whopper.
Hey, you in a suit. You're in a lot of trouble.
I know you're all behind us on this.
I like the Whopper the way it was, fool.
The new Whopper has more beef than ever. More beef than Big Mac or Wendy's single. And it beat them both for best taste.
More beef? Better taste?
The new Whopper. More beef than Big Mac or Wendy's single, and winner for best taste.
Okay, fool. It's good. I'll let you live.
Ballpark Franks plump when you cook them. Wouldn't it be nice if there were ballpark hamburgers? They'd plump too.
That's more expensive than a coyote coat.
Well, the way they tell it, ain't expensive at all. Just taste expensive.
And what's that rattlesnake doing with all the money we chip in for beer?
Hey, Bud Sewer, got a table for me and the little filly?
Rich, smooth Meisterbrow. It only tastes expensive.
6-0. The Tigers lead it as the Blue Jays come to bat in the 8th inning. Lynn Matusek, Jesse Barfield, and Tony Fernandez will be the batters. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon we'll be back with you at 1 o'clock for the final game of this series. Then it's on to Baltimore Tuesday night at 7:30 against the Birds, and Wednesday night at 7:30 against the Birds. And Monday night in Washington, Al Kaline, you'll put your big batting average on the line in the Cracker Jack game. I hear you've been working out.
I got a 3-game streak going.
You've been working out.
I worked out yesterday.
I refused to work out. I could not improve my swing.
Well, I was going to work out again today.
There's a fly ball into deep center. Lemon backing up a few steps, and he'll make the grab.
I was going to work out again today, but I'm so sore today.
Yeah.
I took some swings, and then I threw batting practice to Lemon
I was going to take batting practice, and I got to thinking, well, I've batted one time in each of the games I've played the last 2 years. No use getting too excited about one trip to the plate. Here's Jesse Barfield. And a strike to Jesse, but we'll be there on Monday night for the Cracker Jack game in Washington, and that is always a big attraction. About 35,000 people turn out. Right off the glove and picked up by Flynn. That was a good play by Flynn.
I think he'd have made the play either way, but he makes it a difficult way because of the spin of the ball. Take a look at it again. As Terrell touches it, it puts some spin on the ball, and watch it go toward in the hole, and he's able to make a tough play and makes it look easy. He's an excellent fielder.
That's the second out of the inning, and it'll bring up Tony Fernandez. Oh, I can't believe this. Chuck Waslick just told me on the pregame show tomorrow they're going to have shots of Kaline and Kell on the last year's Cracker Jack game. There's a pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Fernandez. 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the 8th inning. Ball 2. Now the Cracker Jack game is sponsored by the Borden Company, who owns the Cracker Jack that you eat, popcorn, Cracker Jacks. There's a fly ball to left. Herndon puts it away, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 easy inning for Walt Terrell. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Tigers 6 and the Blue Jays nothing.
This summer, dive into something new. Taco Bell's Chicken Fiesta Salad.
Summer, you've got the taste for something new. Summer, tangy chicken so light, so cool. Summer, a whole new taste like a summer breeze. So bright, so tangy.
Get a free medium soft drink with the purchase of a Chicken Fiesta Salad at participating restaurants through June 30th.
George, you've got MCI long distance. Think it's right for my business? MCI? Wall Street's top banks and brokers use it. 5 of the big 6 automakers, 9 of the top 10 oil companies, plus hundreds of thousands of other businesses save hundreds of millions of dollars with MCI. But I'm a small plane. Planes? 6 top airlines use MCI for interstate calls anytime, coast to coast.
Call MCI. We sound better to business.
Good evening, I'm Gerald Harrington. Coming up tonight on News 4 at 11. It was supposed to be a day of freedom for the 39 hostages in Beirut, but a snag developed. We'll update the hijack crisis. 2 people drowned while boating on Belleville Lake, and Detroiters say a final goodbye to Detroit News columnist Charlie Manos. Also tonight, the hydroplanes race on the river in preparation for tomorrow's Thunderfest. Fred Hickman with the Tiger highlights, and there are a lot of them, and Rick Griffin's forecast. All that and more on News 4 tonight at 11.
Here come the Tigers in the 8th inning. Tom Brookins, Lou Whitaker, and Doug Flynn will be the batters. What a night this young man has had. 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in, and just made a sensational play that kept the Blue Jays off the scoreboard, and gets another base hit. He may go for 2 again. Here he goes. Here's the throw, and safe.
Seeing some hardball played here tonight. Tommy Brookins, another, hits a great pitch out over the plate. And I tell you, he has his mind made up that he's going to second base all the way. And that's the only way you can make a double on this type of a hit.
Saw a leadoff double by Brookins, his 3rd 2-base hit of the game. And the batter is Whitaker, who started the ball game with a double. And a strike on the outside corner to Lou. Whitaker's 1 for 3. Doubled, scored a run, flied to left, bounced to second, walked his last time up. Bouncer to the shortstop, and a good break by Brookins allows him to go on to third base. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Tigers 85. Now for the complete wrap-up of the weekend sports action, join Fred Hickman for Sports Final Edition, Sunday night at 11:30 right here on Channel 4. Doug Flynn will bat with a runner at third and 1 out. And a strike. Doug replaced Alan Trammell.
Hey,
back in the 4th inning.
Doug's a strong little guy, but watch his first move. Watch how he leans towards third base.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And right-handers have always given him a lot of trouble. He hits left-handers much better, and he hits left-handers to right field. But a great fielder. He has very soft hands.
Foul ball being chased by Upshaw, but it'll be back in the crowd. Brookins opened this inning with a double. He went to third on the bounce out by Whitaker, and Doug Flynn's trying to get him in. One ball, 2 strikes. Infield in tight for a play at the plate. Good stop by Whit. Ball 2, strike 2 as Ron Musselman gets ready. And he taps it right back to the mound. That'll hold the runner at third base. 2 outs, and it'll leave it up to Gibson.
Yeah, I don't believe they'll pitch to Gibby. If they do, they're going to be very, very careful making him hit a certain type of pitch.
Gibby was the first batter to face Musselman, and he hit a home run on the first pitch. He'll bat now with a runner at third and 2 outs. One ball, no strikes. Ron Musselman gets ready, and the pitch, and a line drive, foul ball. About a foot outside the line.
Take a look at the last pitch. Was a split finger pitch that got up and inside to Gibby.
He had it headed for the corner for extra bases, and it landed about a foot outside. So we'll do it again. Pitch outside, ball 2. Ball 2, strike 1.
Gibson leads the Tigers in home runs now with 16, RBIs with 50. Also, he leads in stolen bases.
A 2-1 pitch to Gibby. Ooh, we almost hit him with it. Ball 3. The Yankees' Don Mattingly had a double in the 7th inning to break up the no-hitter by Moose Haas. This is a fair ball into the corner, and Gibby will cruise into second with a double.
This young man is having quite a year for himself. It's a split finger pitch again. You see the break in it, but it hung up in the middle of the plate. Musselman split finger not nearly as effective as Jack Morris. He doesn't throw quite as hard as Jack.
7-0, the Tigers lead it. And the batter is Parrish. Lance fouls it away. Well, this huge crowd of 47,965 on a Saturday night in Detroit having the time of their life.
Well, last night they didn't have much to cheer about, but they're making up for it tonight.
Tigers have put on an awesome display both at the bat and in the field tonight. The 1-strike pitch to Parrish. That'll make it 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. And a line drive, base hit to right. Here comes Gibby. And the throw to the plate. He is saved. And down to second goes Parrish.
Yeah, the Tigers doing it all tonight. Lance Parrish hitting a rare ball to the opposite field, lines it over the second baseman's head. Gibson, who is bothered with a bad leg, you can see there, just gets under the tag of Ernie Witt. A good throw by the right fielder.
Parrish went to second on the throw to the plate, and the batter is Evans. Darrell fouls it away. The inning started with a double by Brookins. He went to third on a bounce out, stayed there as Flynn went out, then scored on the double by Kirk Gibson. Gibby scored on the single by Parrish. And it's strike 2 to Darrell Evans. A 2-strike pitch. 1-2 to Darrell. 8-0. The Tigers lead it, bottom of the 8th inning. Fly ball into left center. That gets them out of the inning, but the Tigers get 2 before they do. 2 runs on 3 hits. Strand a man, and at the end of 8, the Tigers 8, the Blue Jays nothing.
Got me a case of the 501 blues, here from my waist right down to my shoes. You ain't got it, not like me. It's my strength to fit, permanent identity. 501 blues, legendary 501 blues. Levi's button tie.
J.C. Penney, your headquarters for Levi pre-washed 501 jeans.
At Red Lobster, you know you're getting only the freshest fish because the ocean rewrites our menu every day.
There's never been a better time, never been a better place.
Red Lobster's just filled with delicious fresh fish and seafood. So it's no wonder the fish aren't the only ones biting.
There's never been a better time for seafood. Red Lobster for seafood.
Lower car payments. Everybody wants lower car payments. But where can you get them? In the NBD loan zone. You see, NBD has developed some exciting new ways to help lower your payments on a new car. Just talk to a loan zone representative at any NBD office or participating car dealer. The car you've always wanted with payments you can afford. It could be waiting for you right now in the loan zone at NBD, one of America's great banks.
8-0. The Tigers lead it as the Blue Jays come to bat in the ninth. Maybe Chuck Wasley can get a picture of Dan Petrie in the Tiger dugout. He was laughing a moment ago, and I would imagine he's also thinking, hey, gang, where were you last night? 8 runs tonight, and I needed 3 of them last night. Here he is. Here's Dan Petrie, just about the nicest guy you'll ever see. And
Dan is the type pitcher knows that these things happen. And it's not like the players are not trying to score runs. That he just happened to run into a very fine pitcher last night, and he knows that sooner or later they're going to score a lot of runs for him.
Garcia will lead it off, and he takes a strike. That was Frank Tanana to the right of Dan Petrie. 1 strike to Garcia, and he pops it into right field. Gibson is there. Garcia is out on a fly to right, 1 away in the ninth, and the batter will be Rance Mullinix.
And Walt Terra would love to get another shutout. He has 1 this season.
He is working on a 2-hit shutout here in the ninth with 1 out. Mullinix has flied to left, bounced to second, and walked his last time up. Pitch outside to Mullinix. This is out of play. I tell you, not too many of this huge crowd of 47,965 have departed the scene. They're going to stay around and enjoy it all. You see a few heading for the exit, but not many. There's another foul ball. One ball, 2 strikes to Mullinix here in the ninth inning. Count. You ready?
I'm ready. Where I'm sitting over here and you're sitting, you always have to be ready when there's a left-handed batter.
Okay, I'm ready. I don't trust you, though, without a glove.
Oh, you're not kidding. I'm ducking. Almost got hit last night.
I know you did. There's a pop-up. This might be in play. Brookins over near the stands and out of his reach. He did everything but go in the seats to get it. Most of the time, that ball will blow back on the playing field, but tonight the wind is blowing from right field toward that line, and it carried it away from it. They have played 8 innings in New York. Milwaukee 6-0 over the Yankees. Baltimore beat Boston this afternoon 16-4. Cleveland at Seattle tonight. Kansas City 1-0 over California at the end of 5. Oakland 2-2 with Texas at the end of 4. 2-2 to Mullinix. Minnesota has a 1-0 lead over Chicago at the end of 4. Ball 2, strike 2. Mullinix a lot like Ernie Whitt, or exactly. They play against the right-handed pitching. Org plays and Martinez plays. Org plays at third. Martinez does the catching against left-handed pitching. But as Al Kaline pointed out, most of the time they've seen right-handed pitching. The 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball. We're in the ninth inning at Tiger Stadium. 8-0. The Tigers lead it. 1 out with nobody on. Walt Terrell trying to shut them down. It's a ball 2 and a strike 2 count to Mullinix. And the pitch. Bounce to first base. Bergey's going to take it himself. Bergey's an old-fashioned first baseman. He doesn't make any throws he doesn't have to make.
Absolutely. You could tell the way this game, almost tell the way this game was going to go on the very first hitter. Lou Whitaker making an excellent play. And then he did it again in the second inning. Again in the fourth inning.
Mosby the batter, and he hits it hard. Bergey picks it off, and it's all over. Walter Terrell has pitched a two-hit shutout. Terrell gets them 1, 2, 3 in the ninth inning, nothing across. The final score of the game, the Tigers 8, the Blue Jays nothing, and we'll be right back.
Now have a nice day, honey, okay?
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Be careful.
One way AAA helps with life's worries is with our school safety patrol program.
Stop.
Maybe it's not as important as our auto, life, homeowners insurance, and full travel services. But maybe it is. AAA, leave your worries at our doorstep.
If I say nutrition in front of these guys, they say,
"Oh, Mom."
So I take them to Elias Brothers. They love the food.
Spaghetti. Hot turkey.
And there's so much at Elias that's good for them. Like the soups, fresh, crispy vegetables, 100% stone ground whole wheat bread, baked and broiled choices, prepared fresh here. And for me, only Elias has the Weight Watchers menu. When it comes to nutrition,
Mom.
what they don't know is good for them. Thanks, Elias.
Spring is here, and so is the Thunder.
Chevy Thunder.
Chevy Thunder. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers roll out the Thunder with the year's best selection of sporty cars, and they're flat out exciting. Camaro, the thoroughbred of performance cars. And Monte SS. When you see one, buy it. But hurry, because they'll go fast. See Dexter, LuLaRich, or Stewart Chevrolet. And take Detroit by storm.
Well, our light beer player of the game is Walt Terrell, who pitched a two-hit shutout here tonight. He was absolutely magnificent. He pulled the Tigers even in this three-game series, 1 game apiece. He pulled the Tigers back to within 2.5 games of first place. And for being our light beer player of the game, Walt Terrell, $100 will be donated in his name to Children's Hospitals of Michigan by Light Beer from Miller. And we'll be right back after this message.
Harry Drugs and Auto Works announce a big grand opening. I said big grand opening. With lots and lots of savings. Big savings. Like Valvoline Motor Oil, just 59 cents a quart after rebate. And register at any Auto Works or Perry Drug Store to win hundreds of prizes like TVs, stereos, and more. Big prizes. So come celebrate the grand opening of all the new Perry Drugs and Auto Works. Now, just how big is it? You get the idea.
I tell you, there's nothing like a hot steam bath and a cold light beer from Miller.
That's the truth. Light doesn't fill you up, so you can sit back and relax a while.
Ah, that tastes great.
Hey, Ben, how about another cold one?
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Hey, wait a minute.
That ULC?
I didn't say anything.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, get out of here! Where's the door?
I got my hat.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
There's something real special about this new Tiger hat. It's going to help build and run this new Ronald McDonald House. It's an important place for kids with serious illnesses and their parents to be together, to give each other support. So give your support. Buy a new away hat at McDonald's for just $2.49, and McDonald's will donate 50 cents to Ronald McDonald House. Buy a hat and help a lot of little champions win their game.
Well, a big night at the old ballpark with a big crowd on hand, 47,965. Al, they are going home happy. The Tigers put on a great display tonight. It was almost like World Series time.
Well, this ball club is amazing. Last night, I told you, as soon as that ball game was over, they forgot about it. And they come back and play hard every day, and they got a great pitching performance by Walt Terrell and great fielding plays. It was just an outstanding ball game, and the people really enjoyed it.
Well, last night, the Blue Jays won at 2-0 behind great pitching by Steve. The Tiger fans didn't have much to cheer about, but tonight they had plenty to cheer about. It started, as Al Kaline mentioned a moment ago, in the very first inning with the very first batter, as Lou Whitaker makes just a patented Lou Whitaker play.
We're so used to seeing this, and this ball is hit like a shot past Gibson in right field, and it always amazes me that Whitaker's slight of frame, but what a great arm. As you see here, he sets up perfectly for a relay, and he throws like an outfielder all the way, a perfect throw, and right on the money.
Now, this came after Lou Whitaker had made an outstanding play on the leadoff batter on a ground ball. And then in the Tiger portion of the first inning, he was the leadoff batter, and this is what he did, a double into the corner. Oh, this is Whitaker scoring. He had double. Now he's scoring on the fly ball. Gibson hits this one. It's rather shallow, Al.
Yeah, he takes about 1 or 2 extra steps, and he's just relying on his arm. You have to get the ball and get rid of it in a hurry. But Lou with good speed.
After that, Chester Lemon steps to the plate, and he put this big crowd in orbit along with the baseball.
No question about it. He got a good pitch. He hit a good pitch and hit it way up in the upper deck. It's good to see Chester getting the long ball every once in a while to go along with that great fielding.
Well, that made it 2-0, and then Dave Bergman came to the plate. Dave Bergman has not had a home run this year. He's had a few problems at the plate, getting hurt in spring training, not being with the ball club early in the year, but this is what he does right here, Al.
And he's been working on trying to shorten his swing. He thought his swing was too long, and it gave him a loop in motion, but he wanted to try to make it short and try to simulate chopping down on the ball, trying to hit more line drives. And when you do that, you get a pitch up in the air like that, you can drive it just like Dave did on that one.
Boy, would it ever help if he gets that swing back, and he will. Of course he will.
And this guy is the guy you got to really like, Tommy Brookins. He wasn't considered as a regular third baseman. He's always had to fight people off every year, but now he's won himself a job not only with his glove, but getting some big base hits just like you see there. I think he had 3 doubles today.
3 doubles tonight, and he drove in 2 on that play. But watch this play at third base now. A Brooks Robinson third base play, as you don't make them any better than that. Right
George
there.
Bell could not believe he made the play.
Here's Gibson's home run on the first pitch in the 7th inning. Upper deck, and
of course that's a classic home run. Gibson doesn't get any cheap home runs. It doesn't matter whether you're playing in the Grand Canyon. When he hits them, it goes out. And he is going to be an amazing player around Detroit. He's going to break a lot of records before he's finished playing. And he's just still learning how to hit. And he's just awesome when he hits the ball. He just hits it out of sight.
Well, Musselman was the third pitcher, and that was the first pitch he made. And then again, facing Gibson with a runner at third, here's a double into the corner.
Gibby's the type of guy he never thinks you have enough. And he's hungry every time he goes to the plate. He wants to get that extra hit.
And Lance Parrish goes to right field, driving in the final Tiger run.
Oh, it's good to see Lance go to right field every once in a while. You know, he tries to pull the ball, and they learn how to play him too much. Goes to right field once in a while, open up the hole down at third base.
Well, 8-0 lead as Walt Terrell gets ready to pitch for the final out of the game. Lloyd Mosby hits it hard right at Bergman, who picks it off and very calmly tosses it over to Terrell. And you've got to give all the credit in the world to this young man, Al. A 2-hit shutout against a fine hitting ball club.
I call Walt Terrell the factory worker of the Detroit Tigers. He gives you the good, hard day's work every time he goes out on the mound. There's no excuses involved, and he just shows up, does his job, doesn't say very much, and he'll go out there every time they give him the ball.
Well, last year in spring training, you remember the Tigers made the big deal that brought Hernandez and Bergman over here, and that proved to be a winner as the Tigers won it all. Maybe before the year's over, they'll look back and say, well, this past winter, the deal that brought Walt Terrell over. He's got 9 wins. What more could you ask?
That's tie for high on the ball club, and certainly I wouldn't know where we'd be without the Tigers would be without Terrell, with Wilcox being hurt, not able to pitch. And he has just done an outstanding job. And he's only been, I think, knocked around real hard only twice all year.
You know, Al, I look at the Tiger pitching staff right now. When Wilcox went out, and everybody's beginning to get a little worried about the Tiger pitching, but right now, with the acquisition of Frank Tanana, the great game he's pitched, and I don't know how he's going to get back in the rotation. The Tiger pitching, with O'Neill coming on, is set, solid.
Well, you never have enough, and that's the kind of problems as a manager you love to have. Too much good pitching. You can never have too much of it because something will always go wrong. Somebody get hurt or somebody go into a slump. Something will happen. You can never get enough good pitchers, and certainly Tanana is a great improvement, and you have to give a lot of credit to Bill LaJoy for making that type of a deal. He's only 31 years old, and he should be able to help the ball club for several years.
And talking about deals, you give Bill LaJoy a lot of credit for the Doug Flynn deal. You could see what tonight, Alan Trammell's out, premier shortstop, and Doug Flynn does not carry the Alan Trammell bat. Everybody knows that. But you mentioned it. He's got the soft hands, makes the great plays.
He can play. He doesn't have great range, but he can make all the average play, and that's all you can ask for anybody who's coming in to fill in. You don't expect him to make the Alan Trammell plays in the hole because if he could do that, he'd be playing for somebody else. But he's the type of guy you have to have on the ball club, and now with Tommy Brookins solid at third base, you don't want to move him around too much because he's doing a great job at third. You need somebody else to fill in where Tommy Brookins used to fill in.
Al, you made a statement at the top of the show that I think just personifies this ball club to the T. You said they lost last night 2-0, a big ball game tonight, but they've forgotten that game already. They lost in Boston Monday night. They came back with 2 straight shutouts. They come back tonight.
Sparky Anderson will not stand for anybody to have their heads down in their lap. He wants you to come out and play hard, and he says there's some other things more important than baseball. The only thing you can do is show up and play hard every day, give your best effort, concentrate, and then if you lose, hey, there's nothing you can do about it. And this is exactly what this team, only because you have a manager like Sparky Anderson who will tell the guy, he probably told him last night, hey, forget about it. This guy just pitched the whale of a ball game. We'll come back and get him tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow afternoon, the third and final game of this series, the rubber game. The Tigers have Jack Morris going. What more could you ask than that?
Well, Jack, pitched a great ball game his last one. He's had a couple rough starts up until that time, and he looks like he's back on his game again. He always goes through a little stretch where 4, 5, 6 ball games he doesn't seem to have it, and then all of a sudden he just turns it right around. Hopefully he's turned it around again.
He had it in Boston. He pitched the big shutout against the Red Sox. He just seemed to cruise through that ball game, probably as good a stuff as he's had all year long. And of course the Tigers tomorrow will be facing a tough one too. Big right-hander Jim Clancy, who throws extremely hard. In his last outing against the Tigers in Toronto, they hit him rather hard, but he's a good one.
He's a good one. He throws hard. He gives you good pitches to hit. You have to take advantage when he makes the mistake because he will give you good pitches to hit. But if you're fouling those balls off, and he's not going to make them all day long, so you have to take advantage of his mistakes. But he's a good one. He had some problems early. He missed much of early in the year because of appendicitis, but he's back on his game and he throws hard.
Well, you got to give the Tiger pitching staff all the credit in the world. The last 4 ball games, they've allowed 2 runs. That coming last night on a 2-run homer by George Bell. They shut the Red Sox out on Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Lost last night 2-0 on a 2-run homer. Get a shutout here tonight. You can't ask for much more than that. Well, the final score of the game, 8-0. The Tigers win it. They had 8 runs on 13 hits. They made 1 error. Terrell, the winner, he's 9-3 on the year. Toronto had no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Leal takes the loss. Luis is 3-6 on the year. Well, that's it from Tiger Stadium. Tonight's game was produced and directed by Chuck Waslick. Our coordinator.